Mobile,
Hello.
how's it going?
It's going great in Mobile. Always.
Always good in Mobile.
Yes.
Guys, we're excited. We're going to be chatting some Do Some Good, the Do Some Good magazine project that we have with the Mobile Rundown. We're pumped. We've got Be the Change on today, but sit back, relax. We'll have a quick intro for you. We'll tell you about the project, what's going on with it, how it all started, and we'll get going. Mandy, tell them about Do Some Good. What's Do Some Good?
So Do Some Good is an annual publication that we, the Mobile Rundown, produce. And the whole goal behind this publication is to get out the word about all the organizations that are doing so much good in our community. They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There are literally people behind the scenes all day, every day, taking care of those in our community who need it the most.
Mm-hmm.
So today, we have Miss Shelli Bell with Be the Change. We have her on, and we're going to talk about some of the things that she is doing with her organization.
By the way, real quick, about to bring her on. If you haven't seen the physical magazine, if you're listening, you may hear me leafing through the magazine here. If you're watching, you see me doing it, and you're like, okay, that guy's crazy. Hop on our website, themobilerundown.com, and you'll find it up at the top tab. Find Do Some Good magazine. Click on it. You can read the digital version, but businesses around town will have the physical version, or any organization you see in the magazine should be able to connect you with one of those. But yeah, so we're excited to chat with Miss Shelli, and we've got her on. We're going to bring her on right now. Hey, Miss Shelli.
Hello.
Hey, good morning. How are y'all?
Good morning to you. We're doing good. How are you?
Congratulations on the magazine. It is phenomenal. It's beautiful and very well done. I'm so proud to be in it.
Thank you. And we appreciate your participation in it. And it's really one of the things that our goal with the Rundown is to connect people, right? To connect people with events, things that are going on. But we have found that there are so many people in our community who want to get involved in something. They want to help. They just don't know where to start. And a lot of times too, you hear of these organizations and you've heard the name, or you've seen an event and you're kind of familiar with what they do, but really sometimes you have no idea what their mission is. So that is our goal. And so we are excited to dive into Be the Change and how that came about. So you are a one-woman show for this, correct?
I am.
That's incredible.
I do have a board of directors, but I'm pretty much heading it up.
We love it. Well, go ahead. And I guess that's a great way to start. Let us know one of the ways that Brooks does it. He's really good. If someone is just coming up to you and they have no idea, they've never heard of Be the Change, where would you start? What would you tell them?
Well, I started developing it last year. It's been on my heart and in my head for a very long time, but I started developing it last year, and it just kind of went live in February. So this is all real new. I am still trying to get people together to form the fund to be able to help other people. So a little bit about my background and how this came to be is that I was a single mother of 3 children. Early on, I had my third child the month before I turned 23 years old. So I was a very young mother. I was divorced by 27. And so for 11 years, I was single. And during that time raising children, I made not a minimum wage, but it was barely getting by. And so there were times that I had to go to Catholic Social Services and pick up food. There was times that I went to the Mobile Community Action Center and they paid my power bill once or twice. I mean, you find ways to do what you need to do to survive. But I considered myself working poor. So I was working sometimes 2 jobs, sometimes a third job would be like selling Tupperware or Mary Kay or something on the side. But I was always hustling, always grinding, always doing what I needed to do. Sorry about that, y'all.
You're fine. We probably need to silence ours too.
And trying to take care of my kids. And so there was a time that I was making, I think, like $9 an hour, and I decided that I was going to try to get on food stamps. And I called them, or I went down there to see them, and they told me that I made $100 too much a month. I was bringing home like $13.50 a month, and they told, I promise, it was the most disheartening thing ever. Trying to raise these 3 kids, and it, I mean, life is tough, And so I almost actually went to my boss and asked for a reduction in pay so that I would qualify to get that extra couple of $100 a month for food stamps, because I was pretty much desperate at the time. So I came from meager means and struggled. And so, but I wanted to be noted that I was kind of in the system. Like, I would go to Catholic Social Services for groceries, and I would go to Mobile Community Action. So those people knew my story and knew who I was and what I was doing. So August was a very difficult time for me, because not only did I have the regular bills that I had to come up with, but August was, my car tag was due in August, because my last name was started with an R at that time. And my kids needed school uniforms. So an extra $100 in August would have helped me an awful lot to not have to scrape, because one time I forewent the tag and wound up getting a ticket in September because I hadn't yet gotten my tag. So it's a snowball thing, I mean, and people are struggling. I'm just a regular person, I was just regular people. So we fast forward in life a little bit. I get into real estate, and I got in 2010, and there wasn't a whole lot going on. Plus, I was pretty new. So I decided to start.
In 2002 or 2010? 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. I just wanted to make sure I heard right.
Interesting time to get started.
Yeah, it is.
In real estate, yeah. So I went to McKimmey Place and started volunteering down there, and ran into a couple of situations, a couple of ladies down there that had these situations where one of them had gone down the street to McDonald's. She'd walked like 6 blocks down to the McDonald's, gotten her a job. They said, come tomorrow, but you're going to need black shoes and black pants for uniform. Well, she didn't have $50 or $60 to afford that. So she couldn't take the job. So $60 could have changed the trajectory of her life. There was another lady that needed a birth certificate. She needed a driver's license, but she couldn't get a driver's license because she didn't have a birth certificate. So $60 could have changed the trajectory of her life. Yes. And those are the things that started really seeding in my heart. And so weeks later, after the McDonald's story happened, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she said, oh my gosh, if I'd have known, I'd have given her $50. I'd have helped her buy that. So it started to occur to me that, the people on the side of the road with a sign, we don't give because this is just real talk. We don't give a lot of times because we think they're going to buy drugs or alcohol with it. They're going to do something detrimental to their lives instead of helping themselves, pulling themselves up by the bootstraps, so to speak. But if we knew for a fact that we could dig the change out of the bottom of our purses or out of the cup holder and give it out the window, and they were going to do something positive with it, most of Mobile would probably do that.
Yeah,
I,
agreed.
I believe that Mobile has that kind of heart that they would give if they knew for a fact that it was going to go somewhere good. So that's where Be the Change. The change is to create change, but also to give change. Give the change out of the bottom of your purse, out of your cup holder. So, having said all of that, I say that my whole mission is for micro assistance and micro donations. So I want 5,000 people to give $2 a month. That's incredible. And I think that it's completely doable, and it's $10,000 a month that can help Mobile. And I want, people used to say, or I've heard people say, that give until it hurts. I don't want you to give till it hurts. I want you to give so effortlessly that it's the change out of the bottom of your purse. It's $2 a month. Yeah. It's absolutely nothing to you. It's not even a Starbucks coffee. It's not even that. It's what's left over after you've paid for your Starbucks coffee that goes towards that. So I think it's completely doable, and I think that Mobile needs it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So let me ask you a question. I think I totally agree with you that I think Mobile would 100%, if they knew the story of the person asking for money, like if they knew what was behind it, if the intentions were good, without a shadow of a doubt, a shadow of a doubt, yeah, people would hand over cash. I think people have been, jaded a lot, right? Unfortunately, people that do, and they have a story a lot, like, oh, I ran out of gas, but you don't actually have a car. You're just trying to get my money, and it makes people hesitant. Like me, it makes me, tons of my friends, it makes you hesitant just to hand someone cash, right? Like, but like if I feel like if there can be the conduit, and maybe that's kind of what you're going for here, is to be the conduit between the people that have these needs. Like, is your organization going to like know the stories of these people so that when that cash comes in, it's valid, it's good, and it's not, like you said, it's not big amounts. I mean, it's $40 for this, $50 for this, things that can really change that person's life. But I think if you can be the conduit, like the connector, it sounds like you're trying to be the connector. I think if you can do that, that would totally make sense. Like, is that what you would be? So when someone's asking me for cash because they need X, some small situation, could they reach out to you guys? Like, is that what you're trying to do, or how are you connecting with the people that have the needs? Like, what's the plan for that?
So the plan is to have on my website, bethechangegulfcoast.com, the community resources, the McKimmey Place, the Salvation Army, the Sybil Smith Family Village, the places that I had gotten help, Mobile Community Action. Yep. Those people are going to know the stories because they knew my story. I sat in their office and cried and told them my story. And so those people are going to know the story. They go to my website. The community resource people will go to my website and fill out a little form. And because of HIPAA, they can't divulge, who it is, but they can tell me what it's for. And so once they tell me what it's for and that they believe that this is legit, I'll give the money. And I'm not going to say that we won't get scammed from time to time, but that's not my business either. My business is to do what I feel like I need to do from my heart. And if I have 104 supporters right now.
Very cool.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited
that's
every
awesome.
time somebody dings through my email and it tells me I've got a new supporter. So, and a lot of them are most of them are $2 a month. I have a couple of $10 a month and a few $5 a month. But anyway, once we've got enough in there that we could probably assist maybe 20 people or so right now with some of these micro donations. But my hope is that we are just looking for people, that we go out and we have to canvass the area looking for people that are in need and don't know maybe that we're available for them. But my job right now is to educate the public that I am in need of, Be the Change has a logo of a bumblebee or a honeybee, I'm sorry. And so we're doing everything is bee themed. And so I'm looking for those worker bees to, deposit honey into the hive right now. So, and then the next mission is to get out there and really tell all of these social organizations that we exist and that we have those funds available.
I think it's incredible. This is something that we don't really have in Mobile. So you are actually creating a niche that is much needed, because these organizations are out there. And of course, these organizations, like you mentioned, McKimmey Place, Mobile Community Action, the Catholic Social Services, any one of us can walk in and hand them cash and they will do well with it. But they don't have someone, until now, they didn't have someone like you out doing that work for them and kind of taking that off their plate a little bit, because fundraising is hard. Fundraising is the hardest part of a nonprofit organization. And it doesn't matter how many events you do and how many fundraiser drives, you always need more. So so you're creating something that is helping them get that bit more. And 104, and you've only been kind of active and out there since February, is incredible.
That's right.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Should be.
When you give money to McKimmey Place, they have their own set of needs that they have to pay their light bill. They have to provide sheets and things for their beds, and they have their own needs. And not to say that they haven't bought a pair of shoes. I'm not saying that they probably haven't done something somewhere along the way, but that's not what their funding is for. And so I am very, very excited to be able to create a fund that would help someone like me that was working, that I was doing it's not just the homeless population. The people I want to help are people who are working and struggling and really trying to do the right thing in life, but it's just not quite enough. And we see it all the time.
Yeah, it's really interesting. My wife Mandy can actually attest to this. That I'll say, we'll drive, we'll see someone, homeless, and I've made the comment before. I'm like, there's actually like really close. Like everyone driving around here is really close to potentially being in that position. Like you're not far off.
One paycheck away.
Yeah, like one crazy piece of whatever could happen to you, and you're in dire need, dire straits, and so there's. It's really like everyone's really similar. And so it's just trying to figure out, how to kind of get that person back in the game or some assistance. And like you said, not just the homeless person that's completely homeless, but the person has a house, but just needs the $50 for the job interview thing. And so I think I think what you're doing is really, really cool for kind of being that plug. And like for those organizations, like you said, they're helping, again, I guess McKimmey Place, like you gave that example. They're helping do what their service is, but you can be that next little plug in helping some of those additional, leg ups for some of those ladies that are there. So that's really cool.
Yeah. And for someone who has personally experienced it, you are the perfect person to head this up and start this in our area, because I think you hear about things, but when you personally experience something, it changes your life. And then whenever you're able to overcome that, and you're in a position where you can help others, it's incredible. So we appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so say I'm just out in the world, I'm hearing this, I'm watching this. What is the very best way for someone to find out more information about your organization?
You can go to the website to donate, and it has some of this same information that I've just told you on the website, which is Be the Change. Even though the honeybee is our logo, it's still BE The Change Gulf Coast, 1E, be the change gulfcoast.com. And that you can go there to donate. You can also call me 251-680-7848 if you have any questions or you want to sit down and have a cup of coffee and talk about it, want to get involved. You know, I would love to be a speaker just about, you know, anywhere where there's 3 or more people. I'll get together and talk to them about the passion that I have about this and how they can help. And so, yeah, I'm looking for speaking engagements and donations.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You're for real because you gave out your personal cell phone number to the people. So you have a heart behind it whenever you're willing to do that. Right. That's incredible. That's incredible. Well, Shelli, it has been fantastic. Brooks has one last question for you.
Okay.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Is there anything we didn't ask you that you're like, I wish someone would ask me this? If you don't, no big deal. But if you do, now is your time to shine.
I don't think so. And I have a list of notes, but I don't think so. I think that we covered everything. So
wonderful.
Thank you,
we'll love it.
Wonderful.
Well, Shelli, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate you chatting with us today and look forward to getting to know Be the Change even more now that we've had this conversation with you. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time and what you're doing in our community.
Likewise.
All right, Shelli. All right, take care. Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was great.
That was awesome.
Shelli's cool. Rock star.
You know, it just takes one person. There was a shirt. Random side note, we were licensed foster parents, and we had a little girl. She was 3 years old at the time. And one of the shirts that she wore was that the saying on it said, I can change the world.
Oh, cool.
And I remember that. And I love that one person out there can change the world. And so, Shelli, we thank you so much for being that person in our community who is doing some things that are helping people along the way. Just one small thing can help change someone's life. So, Shelli, you're amazing. Thank you for all you do.
Heck yeah. And if you're hearing this, I don't know when you'll be hearing this or watching this video. If you know of an organization or you are an organization and you're like, why am I not in this magazine? How do I get in this magazine? Or you're a company and you love an organization, you can sponsor an organization to be in here because producing this magazine costs a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie to you. Right. And we would like to actually have more people in the magazine and be able to print even more. I think we were, 7,500 or 10,000 or something printed. Distributing the magazine is kind of interesting as well. It's a whole job in itself. So, but any of that involvement that you would like to do, reach out to us. We'd love to have you connect with us. And be in tune for the rest of our interviews with other organizations in the magazine.
Absolutely.
Any final word?
Get out and do some good.
Get out and do some good. All right. See you guys.